Skywalker, and you're watching Theory Thursday, Episode 1. Peace. Majora's Mask. One of the best games to ever be created. Such a dark theme, so many lovable characters, and fate-defining moments, epic battles, along with the countless theories that are surrounding it. From Link being dead, and Termina being purgatory, to Majora being the antagonist and Fierce Deity being the protagonist. So many valid theories, but there's something everyone seemed to miss. After the events of Ocarina of Time, we all came to realize the timeline had split, as told by the official Zelda timeline, where if Link was defeated, it created the Downfall timeline, which we know is Zelda, Zelda 2, A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, and so on. The child timeline where Link defeats Ganon and is returned back to his child self. The adult timeline where Link defeats Ganon and is not transported back to child form for whatever odd reason, which, in my mind, does not make sense due to Link being transported back to child form, meaning the adult Link would have vanished from the adult timeline, making the adult timeline nothing but a dream. Just like Tidus in Final Fantasy X, being just a dream of the faith, but I'll cover that in another theory. So with that being said, and with recent Breath of the Wild timeline theories stating that in Skyward Sword, there could have been two different timeline splits, one if Link was defeated by Demise, and another taking place in the past where Link defeated Demise. What if, in Majora's Mask, you couldn't stop the moon from crashing into Hyrule and Majora defeated Link? Yep, I'm saying it. In Majora's Mask, if you are unsuccessful, and for some reason the Happy Mask salesman forgets to play the Song of Time and reset the 3-day cycle, you have created an alternate new timeline, one where Link and Epona vanish and have to wait 100 years to be reincarnated. But wait, with the events in Twilight Princess, and the hero Shade having regrets and not being able to teach his ways to his children, what if Link survived the moon falling, because he is the hero of time, and one of the only people with abilities beyond everyone else excluding the Happy Mask salesman and Ganon? What if he lived and everyone else perished, and he grew up in a twisted zombie-like world due to Majora's magic and the moon falling? And was his name Shade because he lost his identity after years of fighting mutated Terminians? I'm not saying it's 100% possible, but I'm also not saying it's not. Nintendo has left us in the dark about what took place between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, with a little hearsay. Could it be that the reason Twilight Princess is so dark like Majora's Mask is because the hero failed, but lived, and had to live with his regrets not being able to save the people of Termina, allowing the Twilight to manifest? Maybe the Twilight are the creatures he had to fight against after the moon fell. And in that fight he lost his eye before getting the aid of the sages and the deities to seal the Twilight away in a different dimension. It would explain why they're so contorted and odd looking. Could the success of saving the people of Termina still have a game yet to be made? Could we expect a sequel to Majora's Mask after Link is seen riding Epona through the Lost Woods? Another thing, why would such a great fighter with magic and blessings from the deities and the great fairies need so much armor as the hero Shade if he wasn't fighting mutated creatures in Termina after the moon fell? He's never needed such armor in even the biggest boss fights. In fact, any fight that he's been in. So what if Breath of the Wild is also based on the Child Downfall timeline? We have had hints from the creator that when we play Breath of the Wild, we're going to be saying, oh, as in a reference to things that happen in Twilight Princess. Maybe Twilight Princess takes place after, or maybe Breath of the Wild takes place after. We'll still have to see. So with all that, and Nintendo keeping us in the dark about pretty much everything between the games and when a game's coming out, and all the theories that are flying out there, it's hard to say what exactly is going to happen, what exactly took place. It's really up for interpretation for anything. So with all the ifs and buts, I have the feeling we will know soon. So thank you everyone for tuning into my Theory Thursday. Join me next week for another theory on Thursday. With this being my first theory video ever, I didn't want to go too much into details and cross-referencing and etc. and research, but as time goes on, I will find the time to research deeper and have updates as I find out more about what I'm presenting. So, take care everyone, Merry Christmas to you all, and have a Happy New Year's. I'm Zen Starwalker for Theory Thursday.